Hi, you guys. My name is Sherelle Miller. I am a mother to 15-month-old twins, Max and Aniston, and I've been married to my husband, Josh, for 11 years. Josh and I went through infertility. We battled it for about 9 years before we were blessed with our twins. And in that 9 years, there was also a lot of heartache and sadness, as well as a lot of medications that I was on and different procedures we went through. It was a tough time, and during that time I used fitness and exercise to cope with my stress and anxiety, depression, all those things. I felt like it really helped me to stay grounded and to be able to handle the situation that I was going through at the time. Fast forward to now, here I have my 15-month-old twins, very busy, and I am so blessed to have them. Motherhood hasn't always been this amazing thing that I feel like it is, or it was supposed to be. I'd say when they were about 8 months old, I went through a really dark, deep place. I felt very alone, and I was struggling. I really, like, something I never experienced before, depression, anxiety, and I'd been working really hard to lose weight, and I started gaining weight. And I just didn't even care, honestly, to exercise or do those things that I would do before to help me to cope with my stress. My husband worked a lot. When I would go to the gym, it became so much work to haul the twins over to the gym with me. They didn't have childcare, so as they were getting older and more mobile, it became more demanding of my time, and I wouldn't always get my workout in, or I'd get interrupted. It just was hard. I felt like shopping centers don't accommodate to twin moms, so it was hard to take my kids out and just go get some shopping in. I do have a twin stroller, but at that time it was winter, and here in Idaho we have some awesome snowstorms. We got some good snow too this year, and it was really hard to push strollers through slushy parking lots, and so I just stopped going places. Not to mention, like, just to get the twins ready and out the door and all the stuff that I need to pack with me to have everything I need if they need anything. It would take me an hour to 2 hours depending on how long we were gonna be gone for the day and the whole process. But and then you pack everything else to the car and back in and out, and it just became such a hassle that there was a point where I just couldn't even tolerate it. I was exhausted, I was tired, and I stopped doing things. I stopped going places because it was just too hard. And then I get places, and to take care of two babies, like if I'm not in my own home where I have my own tools, my little setup to keep my babies entertained and safe, like, it was hard to go in places where it just was me. And as much as people would say, oh, I'll help you, they have their own stuff to worry about. And so I just stopped going places, and then it just made everything so much worse. Like, my anxiety, my depression, all that got, like, way worse, and I got into a very deep and dark place. My health started to just spiral out of control. Headaches, started getting UTIs and kidney infections, and it just wasn't fun. And I just didn't understand, how do people enjoy motherhood? Like, this is hard. This is hard work, and it just was hard. So when I went in for an UTI, and they wanted me to get on steroids, antibiotics, and all that fun stuff, right? In addition, she felt like I needed to probably go on an anti-anxiety medicine, which I refused. And at the time, my husband was like, I think you should really think about that. Especially when I'd go through just these crazy behaviors that just weren't me. I refused because I knew that there was a holistic approach out there. In fact, it was right in front of me. I just wasn't consistent with my herbs, and I wasn't really utilizing them to their full potential. My sister showed up, Corinne Lott, many of you know her, showed up on my doorstep one day, and we went down to my basement and started working out, and I broke down to her, and I opened up and shared some thoughts that I had been having in my head, and I'm like, this is not normal. her and I both committed to my health, and we lined out the herbs that I needed. And honestly, it was almost instant. I remember like this, the baby's just crying and pulling each baby on a leg, and they just were ready to eat. And I was trying to get their high chairs out and get them in their high chairs and so they could eat. But it just wasn't going fast enough for them, right? Because kids, they just don't understand the concept of time, like 10 more seconds. But and normally a couple weeks prior, I would have like freaked out and yelling like, I can't handle this, maybe even thrown a high chair or two or something. But so as I'm just like found myself smiling, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of chaos and I'm smiling. And it dawned on me that my threshold for the stress and the situation, the chaos that I was in, had grown. Like I realized at that point in time, like I have control of my emotions. I have control of my behavior. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is freaking awesome. And I'm sitting there smiling as the kids are screaming. And I'm just like singing, and like, I'm not even kidding, you are my sunshine. And anyways, I get them in their high chair and eating. And I remember the first time that happened to me, and I was like, I have control of my health again. And during that dark time, you guys, I was an ugly person. I wasn't who I normally am. I love people, and I just didn't even enjoy being around people anymore. I found, like, as the weeks went by, like, I started to love myself again, and I started loving everybody else around me, and I wanted to start helping people again. I was a massage therapist for 15 years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a place where I can start nurturing other people again. And that just felt awesome to me as I have become way more healthy and like happy. My body feels good. I don't struggle with the headaches anymore. I feel like I'm getting my weight under control, and my motivation and my will to live is like, I feel good about life, and I love being a mother. This is what I expected. I would talk to my friends, and they're like, it gets better. It gets better. To be honest with you, I don't think that is the best advice to give someone that's going through a struggle, because no matter the struggle, when you're in the thick of it and someone tells you it gets better, when there's no light at the end of the tunnel, it gets better sucks. Like, I don't want to just ride out the storm and wait for it to get better. I want to be present in this moment that I waited 9 years for. I want to live through the good, the bad, the hard, and I want to learn and grow from those experiences. I don't want it to be miserable in a time that I hate to think about. And I know that, when you talk about beauty, someone's beautiful inside and out, like, it truly starts within the inside. Because if you are unhealthy inside, whether mental, physically, it does radiate out. And unhealthy is ugly and mean, and it you become jealous of other people's happiness and bitter and sad, and it's not fun. But when you truly feel good, your mind feels good, and you are beautiful. And I feel like we all deserve to be beautiful, and I can now say I am beautiful.